It's time for
DodgerHeads.
high fly ball into right field. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. Shohei Ohtani, 50-50 club. Strikes him out. There's a drive. Shohei Ohtani. Freeman hits the ball. She is gone. Birthday party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into DodgerHeads Unplugged with Scotty G. It's great to have you in here. Happy Thursday. Happy Game 3 day. We're going to get you set. We're going to get you ready to go. This is good stuff. I'm excited. Game 3 this afternoon. Luke is saying Scott's tardy the party. Look, we had a couple things we had to get figured out before we went live here. Had a couple banners I had to make. We're all good. The suits will be okay with this. The Unplugged crowd, we're here early. We're here this afternoon. Love you guys. Appreciate you tuning in to this afternoon edition. Get you all set up here. Tyler Glasnow on the bump. The Milwaukee Brewers sending out Aaron Ashby. We're going to talk that. We're going to talk my plans for what I think that the Brewers are thinking following him. I know that there's some gamesmanship going on. Pat Murphy was pretty coy on who they were going to send out in bulk duty there. But the Brewers announced Aaron Ashby is going to pitch for the third time in this National League Championship Series. He gets the open. He gets the open for the Brewers. You go top 3 there, so you're going to get, we've got the lineup. They're going to go Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Will Smith slotted in the 3 spot. Kayla, it's good to have you. Scotty G in the place to be. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Lucas, you're the man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ruby Tuesday. Scott is the suits. I am the suits. The suits have eyes on Unplugged. I'll tell you that right now, everybody. The suits have eyes. They see the movement. They see the support. They're with it. Bang is right, Ruby Booby. Appreciate you, man. You're a beast. What a dog. Look, if you're tuning in for the first time, hit the like, hit the sub, pull up a chair, stay a while. To the tier ones, everybody out here, thank you so much. Dodger Blue has been putting out fantastic content. Your number one source for Dodgers independent media. Credentialed, we're fantastic. We got Matt Moreno there. Blake Williams does fantastic work. So all credit to those gentlemen who they go out there and get all the quotes. They do terrific work for us here. Everybody on the writing side, video side, it's a good place to be. But early on, thoughts about today. Yesterday's show was a great one. Great conversation there. Chat was electric. There's been comments from, Brewers manager Pat Murphy about the arms in his bullpen and his starters and however he's mixing and matching. You can see they're having to patchwork this together to get through this series. I'm going to continue to give credit to the Brewers lineup and the players that they have for the fact that they won the most games in the NL for a reason. They had that record for a reason. They've got talented players over there. But when it comes to the bullpen, you saw them running out of gas. Brandon Woodruff not being there is a big deal for them. And they're going to continue to have to patchwork this group together. Game 1, they went with a bullpen game, and they went out and used their high leverage arms in middle innings. And Abner Uribe throws yesterday, I believe it was the 6th. And back-to-back times against the Dodgers, he's allowed an earned run. So the Brewers rotation, the Brewers bullpen is kind of one right now. They're kind of just piecing it together. And today, the announced starter, opener is Aaron Ashby, pitching for his 3rd time. So following that, the plan, I know they brought Jose Quintana to speak to the media, but there is no set bulk arm. They don't do that. And from what I think, and we'll just start going into this right now. We'll start talking this. Tyler Glasnow, Dodgers lineup, game 3. Lineups below. Did that for you guys who asked me 1,000 times. I got you. I got the memo. I'm just going to put it up there so it scrolls. I believe that the Brewers are going to go with Jacob Misiorowski, right, directly following Aaron Ashby. That's what I think. It's said it's been announced. I don't see that it's been announced. I know they've been talking that, but I'm going to guess that they're not going to go with Jose Quintana. If they do, it won't be for very long. I don't see how the Milwaukee Brewers um, allow themselves to get to this point of the series without using Jacob Mizorowski, who's been terrific for them this postseason. Uh, Great appearances in the division series round against the Cubs. I think back-to-back scoreless appearances is for him. I got to pull this up here, but I think that he's been great. Yeah, he's been great. Sorry, excuse me. He's gone 7 innings, allowed 1 earned run on a solo shot, 7 punch, 2 walks. I believe that that's where they're going to go. He's now on. Last time he pitched was the 11th. I think that they're going to go that way. And I love the fact that Will Smith is in the 3 slot today. Pushing Teoscar Hernandez to the 6th adds versatility. It adds some depth to the lineup, and it allows for a later game change if they decide to, go a defensive replacement for Teoscar Hernandez and avoid that. We spoke about that yesterday. I like that plan. I think you guys all did too. But that's the direction I think they're going to go. Aaron Ashby, and if game script calls for it, if he's in there and the Brewers find a way to get a lead, perhaps they go Miz, and maybe they just go straight to him no matter what. I think that's the way they'll go. I would be hard pressed to find a way you don't get Jacob Mizorowski into the game today, like for those bulk innings. Maybe they do it at the back end. Maybe they go straight to him. But I believe today we're going to see Mizorowski. Saving him for a potential spot where you're down 3 in the series would be a mighty tough sell for me. So that's the way that I see it. But keep an eye out. I know Quintana was brought to the media. He spoke about it, had great, really great things to say, but the Dodgers have had success against Jose Quintana. The last 2 times, 2 out of 4 times they've faced him, they've tagged him. They got him, I believe, for 5 last National League Championship Series. And the last time they saw him in the regular season, they put up 4 over 6. So I think that they understand that. The Dodgers are well equipped to handle a lefty that just works east-west, not high velocity. He's going to try to get you on movement, not on velocity there. So following Aaron Ashby to follow up with another lefty, and the Dodgers are setting their lineup for a lefty, I would be hard pressed to go with him. That's just the way that I see it. Yeah. What do you guys think? That's what I think there. Matty Man says basically game 6 for them. They're running it out. They're running it out. They're doing everything. Connor, yeah, Pat Murphy's searching for a new excuse to call his players bums. Facts. Anything he can do to downplay the success of his team and talk about the operating cost and the operating value of his starting lineup and how the Dodgers make so much money. I get it. But man, prop up your team for a sec. Yeah. You guys feeling good today? Chad, I think you're feeling good today. Tyler Glasnow on the mound. Made it 10 minutes in. Haven't even talked about it yet. 3 o'clock start. 3:08 first pitch. Weird stuff there. David says this. The Miz is who I'm hoping we see. That way we have, the way they have to throw him tomorrow, get more looks. Absolutely. The Dodgers have, I know Pat Murphy talked that down about the Dodgers getting more looks and how he says he hasn't overexposed his guys, but he's used his high leverage pieces. All of them. There isn't one that he hasn't except Mizorowski, and that's it. And they need him for bulk. That's just what they do. Kai says, I'm worried just because how much the media are talking about us as a juggernaut. I mean, when you nearly get 2 back-to-back complete games from your starters, and the Brewers are completely taken out of their game, that's the way you do it. That's the way you do it for sure. That's the way you do it. You take the wind out of their sails. You don't allow the Brewers to play their game. You don't allow them to base hit you to death, steal bags to death. That's the way you take the wind out of the sails. 2 games on the road. That's the way you do it. Iris says confidence levels an 8.5. I'm going to, again, implore everybody to remember that the Brewers have a talented ball club. And we talked about this in the Philly series. I know it's a different group, but pressure makes diamonds, backs up against the wall. You see something out of a team, that's when they scratch one across. But the Dodgers, if they play their cards right and they play the game they know what they can do, they don't have to leave LA. They don't have to leave LA. And you finish it, before the weekend. Yeah. So final thing on that, Brewers are going to open with Aaron Ashby, and I believe they're going to go with Jacob Mizorowski. Shohei Ohtani's homered off Quintana in the regular season, and throwing a soft tossing lefty that works primarily east-west is not the way that I'm going to be thinking they'll go. I think we'll be seeing Jacob Mizorowski. They faced him twice in July. Yeah, like I said, first outing in Milwaukee, 1 run over 6 innings. And then at Dodger Stadium, Dodgers tagged him for 4 over 6. Different scenario. I just don't think Pat Murphy's going to hinge his season on Quintana in bulk time, because the Dodgers position the middle to bottom of their order to tag a lefty. You put Teoscar down there, yeah, it's good stuff. Tommy Edman right there in the 5 following Freddie. It's just a good lineup to take care of that. Why are they playing at 3 o'clock? I think it's because that Fox and TBS, TNT, they switch off between primetime stuff. I think that's the way they do it. If there's 2 games, they'll switch it off there. But yeah, 3:08 start sucks. Going to deal with some shadows there for sure. That benefits the team that scores early. Go out and score early. Score early, make it tough. Shorten the game. We saw that against the Philly series. Just go out. If you can find a way to make it work, score early. And then you both are on the even playing field with the shadows later in the game. Darren Shepard, there's no way it's because of the NFL. No shot. NFL is a regular season game. We're talking Major League Baseball postseason. You guys like Ohtani taking BP on the field yesterday? That was interesting as well. He's searching. He's searching for it. Let's talk Tyler Glasnow. Tyler Glasnow against the Milwaukee Brewers. So they're going to alternate lefty-righty a lot. I believe they're going to go out with similar lineup that they ran out against Yamamoto in Game 2. So you're going to see Jackson Chourio, Bryce Terang, William Contreras, Christian Yelich, Andrew Vaughn at 1, Sal Frelick in center, Caleb Durbin, Jake Bowers, and then I think they could go Isaac Collins instead, and they can kind of mix and match this here. But Isaac Collins maybe instead of Bowers. I don't know. They're going to ramrod lefties. I don't think Joey Ortiz. I don't think he's had a good postseason. So I think they'll find a way to get Isaac Collins in there and kind of mix and match some stuff. Make a swap there. Get Monasterio into the game. Just take Joey Ortiz out of it. Not sure. But I think they'll find a way to get Isaac Collins in the game. He's a stud. Good defender. But that's the way I see the Brewers lining themselves up. They alternate left-right a lot. Christian Yelich has had a tough postseason for a few years now. But with Tyler Glasnow, last time out, we all know about it. We talked about it yesterday. 6 innings, 2 hits, same situation. So this really could benefit Tyler Glasnow, because the last time out was in LA. Same type of thing with the shadows. You're going to get similar stuff. I know it was a little bit. Was it the same 3:08? Was that the start time for that game as well? But later in the game, you're going to get some shadows. I think earlier on too. So 3:08, you might still be okay. But he just pitched at home in a day game. Looked terrific. 8 punch. You're going to see big time recognizable splits with his pitch mix. Same start time. Okay, cool. Thanks. So yeah, 3:08. So Tyler Glasnow just went out there and did that. So I'm confident that we talk about prep. We talk about going into a game, going into a scenario. You want to see how the preparation was. He's already had this similar start time there, so I have no issues that he's going to be prepared on that front. Just comes down to execution there. Against lefties, you're going to see big fastball, curveball from Tyler Glasnow there. Against righties, you're going to see a typical fastball slider there. So against lefties, which I expect Pat Murphy to pencil in quite a bit of them, you're going to see fastball, curveball. See if they can get some chase there. Fastball is going to live in the zone. The concern that I have, not the concern, it's just more of like what to look out for, because I'm very confident with Tyler Glasnow and how he's spun the pill this postseason, has been ability to limit stringing hits together from opposing team. Yeah, Darren, I got you. Yeah, that's what it is. I think I heard one of the national guys talking about it. That's where I got that from. But that's what Tyler Glasnow has to limit. And I know he's been terrific, runners on base, stuff like that. Like he's been good on that front. Just find some whiff again. If you're able to live in the strike zone, because the Brewers have good eye, good whiff rate. I know Yamamoto, they've turned the Brewers out. They've turned the Brewers away from what they normally do. But Tyler Glasnow for sure needs to find a way to get some whiff. It's been good. Last time out, he competed right up there with Christopher Sanchez. Yeah, 16 whiffs at home. Same start time. When you have to be more careful around the strike zone there. So if he's able to just limit the damage, limit big swings, no problem. I don't have any worry about it. As far as just execution, it's just base hit stuff. Just limit the singles, limit going up there in 2-strike counts and giving a pitch, because Brewers will go up there with a different club in a bag and shorten up, take it the opposite way. They do that very well. And that's kind of been the only damage. There hasn't been much to talk about, but they'll do it. When there has been base hits, they have no problem shortening up, going the opposite way. So that's what I'm looking out for from Tyler Glasnow today. As far as the lineup from the Dodgers, I've got really no issues. I've got no problems with what the Dodgers are sending out there and how they're putting the lineup together. I love it. Freddie Freeman's looked very good lately. Tommy Edmonds doing his thing. Teoscar Hernandez, we know the success he's had. And Max Muncy. Muncy's been looking exceptional. Exceptional. I think he's 4 for 7 so far in this. Probably is very happy that there's not a string of lefty starters going out there and just shoving it. Lucas, lineups directly there on the bottom, the scroll, the ticker at the very bottom. It's Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Tommy Edman, Teoscar Hernandez, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez, and then Andy Pajes at the very bottom in the 9 hole, who's performed well. Got a few bunts down, inside out, change up down the right field line. Very impressed with that. He's got to get going. But the man at the top, Shohei Ohtani's the one that needs a swing. What's been nice is that against Aaron Ashby so far, Shohei Ohtani is 3 for 3 with 2 RBI, 2 walks. So he's going to get some chase there. If Ohtani can limit pulling off and chasing something inside there, that's a spot where you get Mookie Betts up there with a runner on base. You get Will Smith right behind him, runner on base. That's the ideal outcome right now. That's the ideal thing. Force Ashby to have to stretch it out a little bit, get to the part of the lineup where you get to Freddie Freeman, who has a good lefty approach. He can get fooled just like any lefty, no problem. But you get Freddie Freeman up there, he knows what to do with it. You leave him in his zone, he has no problem taking it away. No problem taking something the opposite way. And then you get Tommy Edman. We know the splits against lefties, Teoscar Hernandez. That's when the Brewers would have to maybe shift off their game plan and then go to their bull guy early. So I'm going to implore you again. That's the plan. That's the way to do it. The Brewers have done it to other teams. Go out there and do it to them. Force them to get off kilter early on. And this is another game where Pat Murphy is patchworking this together. And the success rate with so many arms is low, just because when bullpen games happen, you're hoping for the 100th percentile outcome, but that doesn't always happen. A lot of the time it doesn't happen. So you need to get them off game script and force them to just start churning the bullpen. And the hope with a bulk guy is he can go out there and spin quick innings. And that's why I'm thinking Mizorowski's the guy to do it, because they need to save some of that bullpen in the first game of this stretch here. Because in these middle games here at Dodger Stadium, it's just straight through. It's straight through. So that's the way that I expect it to go. You can't exert the bullpen today if you're the Milwaukee Brewers. That's why I expect, because Mizorowski has had that success so far in the postseason. He goes out there and, like I said, he goes in the first appearance against the Cubs, he goes 3 innings scoreless. And then on the 11th, he goes 4 innings, just 1 earned. Just a solo shot. 3 hits. And that's it. So I think that's the way that they'll go. And if I'm incorrect, then more power to them. They want Quintana to be the guy, and they're putting their season on the line with Jose Quintana in Game 3. Do it. But it's all hands on deck. You could see all 3 of these guys, in another game. It doesn't matter. They're going to put everybody out there. I just think that if you're going to get some bulk, it's going to be Jacob Mizorowski. So Dodgers need to gear up for velocity there. Ashby's hard throwing lefty, big sweep. And Mizorowski going to come out there throwing 102, 103. Amped up 23-year-old. He's going to be trying to shove. But what better team than the Dodgers to shy away from high velocity and to not chase? And if they're willing to live in the strike zone, that's on them. That's on them. But the Dodgers lineup is well equipped to chase and grind at bats. And what's been really great is that they forced Freddie Peralta to go deep into his pitch mix in the first inning in game 2. So the Dodgers can go up there with a patient approach. But that's what Ashby's looking to do today, is go out there, fill up the strike zone early, get him through the top 3, get him through the top 4, however it is, and then hand it over and try to get some quick innings there. That's why they want strike throwers. So if they come out and they're dinking and dunking around the zone, no problem. No problem. You'll see the gears start turning. And then you might see that bullpen door open up early on for the Brewers. They don't want to stretch Ashby out. He's pitched a lot. It's been asking a lot. Because if he wants to be available tomorrow and going beyond 3 times in 3 games. Yeah, Peralta was also throwing a lot of balls. He was working backwards. He was not comfortable with this heater. He was working backwards a lot of backdoor stuff. Do you really want to throw the Miz in a do or die game? Do you really want to throw Jose Quintana in a do or die game? That's the thing. It's like he's kind of got to pick between one. That's what I think. I'd feel better with Mizorowski out there just based on stuff. But they're in a rock and a hard place. And what better team to go up there and grind against, 2 guys, a veteran in Quintana who's not a hard thrower, east-west guy, and Mizorowski who's just going to shove it, who's had success against the Dodgers this year. Let's look. Yeah, back in July 8th, he went 6 innings with 12 punch. You're telling me in a game that the Brewers have to win, this is a must-win game for them. You're going to put Quintana out there and put them in a scenario where it's down 3? That's what I'm saying. I know that was right at the start of the Dodgers' terrible stretch there, but Mizorowski shoved the Dodgers over 6. He faced 23 batters, struck out 12 back in July. Different lineup, different spot in the Dodgers season, so it's like different place, and the Dodgers are locked in at the moment. But that's the arm that I would rely on if I'm Pat Murphy. But again, if I'm wrong, then that's great. Works for me. Live and die. If you want to live and die by Jose Quintana, be my guest. I'm just telling you what I would do. Cool. Got a super chat here. Shelly just says, let's go Dodgers. Anybody going to be at the game today? Shout out to the 1,000 in here this afternoon. Thank you. Getting you prepped for game 3 of the National League Championship Series, Dodgers Brewers. Let me know if anybody's going to be at the game today. If you're able to make it to this oddball start time and braving the downtown LA stuff. Shelly's going to be there. I got a couple buddies who are going to be there. One of my best buddy Brewer fans is going to be there. Hope he's weeping. Hope he's blowing my phone up after the game, how he's just in shambles. I'll keep the lineup thing at the bottom. But a topic that we really have to get into is Roki Sasaki. And with what Roki Sasaki and how he looked last time out, you have to be a little bit concerned, and a little bit that his spray pattern was the thing that was the most concerning, that you had to keep an eye out for it. And it just didn't look pretty overall. Velocity down a little bit. The days off, pitched 3 innings against the Phillies, in the must-win game there, or in the game 4 of the DS. And then he comes out and against the Brewers allows them to get back in that game. That's after kind of loosely being penned as the closer. But his velocity was down. He looked like the Roki Sasaki that we saw earlier in the year. And that's a troubling thing, because when it's that roadmap to the final out, you're hoping that you have Roki Sasaki there ready to go. But his stuff just did not look good. It did not look crisp. It looked like he was trying to find it, and it was like, damn, how do we get this? How do we get this guy right? I know he had a couple whiffs mixed in there, but it was just as wild as it gets. Um, Fastball wasn't landing. Splitter, same type of thing. Spray pattern here, pulling it up as we speak. But it's a concern because it was that he goes out there. You feel you have somebody in that ninth. You feel you have somebody for those last 3 outs. So it's not Blake Trinan. So that it's not a lefty in a disadvantageous matchup for against a string of righties. So you're able to go out there and do it. But his spray pattern, he landed just I think one splitter that clipped the zone. Did not have the touch. Only I'm seeing five fastballs that could have clipped for a strike. So that's not a good place to be for him. Spray pattern needs to be tighter. Stuff needs to overlay on one another. I know the stuff is just so good. The split can be just exceptional, and you just have to live there. Fastball split. Four seamer and high velocity is going to play, but hopefully the day off helped him, but just cannot have that repeat performance there. Is there concern? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would like to get him into a game where it's not a overwhelming leverage scenario to test that out, but I'm sure they've done work, in a bullpen, get him on a mound, see how it is, look at the tape, find the mechanical thing. Maybe those 3 innings there really did a number, and he was just tired, and mechanical stuff didn't work out. But hopefully the same way they made the fix to get him on track, hopefully they found that, looked at the tape, broke it down, and said, this is how you get it back, and go from there. But I haven't heard anything so far. But the fact that of the 22 pitches, he threw here, 16 takes, 6 swings, and you get him out of the game. You get him out of the game, and that's all it was. So it was just a very wild outing for Roki Sasaki, and that's the concern there. But haven't been a lot of lefties. There haven't been opportunities for this bullpen to get in the game. But I think Dave Roberts feels pretty comfortable if he's able to put one of them out there. You just got to rise. You just got to rise to the occasion. Pat Murphy will play the splits. He will do that. He will take some of these. He's got some interchangeability there. But I think that, Roki Sasaki, I hope they find a way to get him in there and get him back on track. Because it's a real concern. When you see stuff, when it's reminiscent of how low somebody went prior, earlier in the year, you don't want to see those shades again. And, C note, thank you for bringing that up. Perhaps the blister was an issue. We saw that pick was floating around on Twitter a little bit, that after that, appearance in Philly or against Philly, there was a blister on his finger. Perhaps that was the thing. Now that we're, a couple days out from that, maybe they found a way to manage it and get that under control so he can have some of the touch. Have some of that touch back on that 4-seam fastball and go ahead. Yeah. But that's where I'm at with Roki. The concern is legit, but 1 time is too many in the postseason, and 2 times is when they're on notice that it's you have to monitor, what's going on there. Agree. Detail Kai. Yeah. Pitchers have bad outings. Hopefully it's just 1 time. I agree. I'm there. I'm for sure right there. But it's definitely a legit concern, just because of how it just couldn't make it through an inning, almost blew the game there. That's when confidence for a rookie starts to creep in there, and is this what was going on early on? Ruby wants to know, what about the dude on Twitter keeps Jacob? Jacob, man, I hope his cholesterol is all right. Hope he's doing okay there. He also wants to know, what's my superstition? Watching games, same spot on the couch, same socks, underwear. Honestly, I mean, I don't. Sometimes I like to cook during the game, just so I'll watch it on my phone, like the game cast. So then if it's good, then I know what I'm going to look at the TV and it's good for. If not, then I'm like, I don't need to expose myself to that right now. Had a bad inning. I don't need to watch this. But it's been all good innings so far. Haven't been many reasons to not watch. I wasn't even home for game 3 of the DS. I was at a concert. I was in downtown LA though. Wasn't at the game. So I was like, Kershaw's getting rocked. I don't need to watch this. Yeah, I don't need to watch this. But that's the thing. The one game I didn't watch, they got killed. My bad. That's my bad. That's legit. The one game I didn't watch, they got smoked. Cool. John says, sad we can only trust Roki. I mean, there's arms out there I trust. It's just the fact that the Brewers have so many righties, and you're searching for another righty. That's what you're doing. Blake Trinan's definitely not our guy to go out there, but he's Dave Roberts' guy. He's Dave Roberts' guy. Amanda says, I'm not superstitious. Look, I got like old baseball superstitions, stuff like that. Like that's like stuff like I remember all those things. Like you try to go in the same pattern, same stuff like that, but I'm not playing the game. I don't need to like eat the same game day meal. I don't need to do that. So if you're doing it, shout out to Jacob, eating all those steaks, getting Omaha steaks. It's legit. Do what you got to do, but I'm not playing the game. I don't need to like put my shoes on the same way, sit in the same spot. I don't need to do that. I'm not playing the game. I did though last year. This I'll admit. In 2024, I have a very special Fernando Valenzuela pin that I kept with me every single day, every day. And that I swear that I promise I got it right here. I got this little special pin. Everybody's got, I think if people pick this one up, but I kept that pin with me. And that, yeah, every day. Keep that by my desk. That's a special one. But I kept that with me every single day. Yeah. Everywhere. Maybe a little stitious. Last year I was hyper invested in that team. I think everybody knew. All right, let's get to some questions. Straightforward, not a lot to talk about today. Very straightforward game plan. Keep doing what you're doing. Lean on the starting pitching. Have the bullpen ready. Tyler Glasnow, we talked yesterday about the ceiling for him. Somebody said like perfect outcome. Of course, it's always going to be like CG. But as far as like optimal, I'm saying a good 6. A good 6 is like optimal stuff within reason. 7, he only did 4 times in the regular season. So if he's cooking today and you're able to get 7 out of him, then do it. Like last game, his last time out against the Phillies, he could have gone 7 for sure. And that's against a top tier lineup. It's just different. A lot of whiff in that Phillies lineup. But if he's looking 6 and 7, you can stretch him. Do it. Go ahead. Shorten the game on that front. But 6 for me would be ideal. That'll be right where I'm cool with. I'm cool with that. So I feel good with 6. I'll be good with that. I'll be good with that there. But all caps question, and I'll get to some here. Let's see. Cameron, any concerns with Tyler Glasnow cramping again? Nah. I mean, preparation there. I mean, it's after a flight. First game after a flight. Hopefully they prepared different. No, I don't have any. That's one of those things where it's like you try to combat that same type of thing. It's the exact same scenario. Coming off a flight and then go from there. No. This is even a different scenario. But game 3 at home, hopefully the preparation was a little bit better. Get him hydrated. Get him a banana. Get some electrolytes in him. No problem. No problem there. David says, do you see Kirsch getting a spot in any of these games more than just a punching bag like the DS? I don't think so. I think it would just be like to go, if, say the game gets away or say, even then, if they're ahead by a lot, I'd still would prefer to put like Kasperius in or Robleski. That's where I would prefer to go. This Kershaw stuff right now, and I know it didn't look good. The Phillies are a different cat. They can, put it on you in a hurry. But his stuff just didn't look crisp. If they're up by a lot, sure, it is what it is. Like if you're up like the Toronto Blue Jays were against the Mariners, you're just putting it on them. Put whoever out there, it doesn't matter. But exactly this, like it's either side of this conversation. Kirsch is only pitching in a blowout or an absolute emergency. His stuff just isn't there. And like, is the emergency like a close game spot? Not a chance. Like you have 3 lefties that you'd prefer to put in there over him, I would believe. 4. I'd say 4. That's no knock. It's just the stuff factor. It's just going out there and executing, 2-pitch mix consistently, airing it out. Chat, you guys are talking about Tanner Scott. I'm not telling you to lay off him, but he's not here. I got you though. Let's see. All right. Guys feel good today? Confidence factor. I saw we had some 8.5, just final prediction scores. If you have any called shots, please let me know there down in the comment section. Let me know in live chat here. Called shot and your score prediction for today. That's where it's at. If you want to give me Tyler Glasnow's line, that's good with me as well. Aaron says, yeah, Kersh is getting the last out of the World Series. What do you mean? Who said that? That would be blowout territory. Laura, Scotty, are we winning the World Series? I talked before the, at the DS, like if the Dodgers were able to make it through the Phillies, I have a hard time thinking anybody around the league matches up. That's just it. That's just purely on having elite starting pitching and everybody healthy at the same time and the offensive potential. So you can take my answer out of that, Laura. We talked about the American League. When you're looking at the Seattle Mariners yesterday and then Julio Rodriguez cranks the 2-run shot in the first, you're like, okay. It's looking like Seattle. Start to falter a little bit. So every game that can happen every game to anybody. It does not matter. A flooding can happen. But I just think the Dodgers are equipped to handle that. They can do that to any starter, not named Christopher Sanchez, not named Jesus Luzardo or Ranger Suarez. They don't matter. They're not in it anymore. But against anybody left, is there a starter of that caliber? There's guys that are left in the postseason, starters left in the postseason who can have good outings against them, but I don't think anybody's as dominant as what we saw there. That's just how it is. Ruby, Will Smith, big fly in that big 3-hole there. Preferred matchup in the World Series. That's tough. That's tough. I don't want to go to Toronto. I don't want to deal with the time change and all that and having them fly across. Seattle, because Seattle's good for baseball. That'd be a fun matchup. Seattle and LA stay on the West Coast. That'd be a fun matchup there. Say Seattle. Just got to look at them. Laura Teoscar goes yard tonight. All right. Let's see. Any more questions here? Yeah. Augustine says Tyler pitches 6 innings today. Ohtani has a good game. Hesung Kim grand slam, Dodgers by 1 million. If that happens, man, go buy a lotto ticket. Go buy a lotto ticket. Miss Paula says Shohei goes yard leading off. Lefty nuke would be wild. And Jake, what's up, buddy? He says finally get some good start times if we play Seattle. Yeah, not this disrespect playing at 3:08. Unreal. Right in the middle of the day. The wild card round, underdog Dodgers having to play at 3:08. Typical disrespect. It's just nuts, man. Insane. Putting the lowly wild card round, gritty, had to go through the Reds, had to grind out against the Phillies, and now you're facing the number 1 seed in the NL, and you're forcing them to play at 3:08. Rude. Just rude, man. Pocket pancakes, all this stuff up against it. It's a tidal wave. It feels like a tidal wave, guys. I don't know how they're going to do it. Yeah. Yes. Right here. Gritty underdog Dodgers playing against the number 1 seed against a team that dominated during the season. Yeah. Yeah. Flummoxed. All right. It says if the Brewers are doing pancakes in a pockets, do we get pocket steaks? That's nuts. I can't say that. I would get canned immediately. The stream would shut off and Blake would show up at my front door and sock me in the head if I had the line I just had ready to say I was going to say. Yeah, can't do it. You guys are funny. I can't say it. It's a tip of the tongue. I can't do it. All right. Good show today. Lucas, 8-2 Dodgers. Shohei is going yard. Look, I'm just saying. I'll put my final thing that I'm going to tell you. Look out for Jacob Mizorowski following Aaron Ashby. That's the way that I think it's going to go. Tyler Glasnow going out there. I think Mizorowski put him out there in a spot where it feels like they have to win a ball game. Just lay it out. The Dodgers have had quite a bit of success against Jose Quintana. I know the one outing he performed well was in Milwaukee. Well, now it's in LA in a day game. Last postseason, the Dodgers put it on Quintana. Tommy Edman, the righties, put it on him. And now you're going to put him out there in a spot where if you get behind, now you have to go into scramble mode again. And other Brewers work well under that. They've got some interchangeable pieces. But I have a big feeling that Pat Murphy won't want to put that out there. I know he's a veteran. I know he's, tenured in Major League Baseball, had performed well throughout the entirety of his career. But this is where I think they're going to have to call on their guys with their best stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Tyler Glasnow, I'm looking forward to watching, have another outing. This is his coming out party with the Dodgers, showing that he's made for it, shake those feelings of having to be perfect, and finding that perfect feeling and just, going out there and pitching. People could not. I know there were some comments about why didn't he go deeper into games and all that stuff. He felt the cramps in the third inning and he kept pushing, made it 6. So I believe he'll do whatever it takes. I was pretty adamant about that prior to the postseason, the starting pitching would be leaned on and they would be up for that challenge. And so far they have. Every start but one has been a quality start, and they've won every game that's happened. Keep that stretch going. I don't see a way they lose it. Door is cracked. Dodgers break it down. That's what we want. And then we'll see you tomorrow. That's what we got. All right, guys. Everybody, my name is Scott Geirman. I appreciate you a bunch. If you're joining me in the middle of your workday, thank you for avoiding your obligations and sneaking around the ad blockers and the site blockers to join us. If you're listening after the fact here, prior to Game 3, get yourself ready. Dodgers can put even more history on their side with another win this afternoon against the Milwaukee Brewers. A 3-0 start in this would put them in, I would say, a territory where they feel they cannot lose. So go out there, continue to put the foot on the gas, put the foot on the throat, end it, and go from here. But pressure makes diamonds. Don't be surprised. I always say this every time. You guys know it. Don't be surprised if the Brewers find a way to scratch out a win. Okay? This is 2-0. They have a chance to do it, but the Dodgers have all the matchup in the world today in their favor. And that's the way that I think it's going to go. Everybody, we will see you tomorrow at noon. I'm going to keep it right there. Everybody, as always, my name is Scott Geirman. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to DodgerHeads Unplugged with Scotty G. And we'll talk to you all later. Till I can't say it anymore. Go Dodgers.